And start recording here. Apara Sakti Sukhavāira Yasyo Vimatram Bhuvanam Samastam Guhahitam Tam Samanam Gabhiram Chinta Vihinam Radhicintayami. This webinar is part of a 7-day retreat also going on in Rishikesh. I have before me here 60 to 70 ladies and gentlemen, students of the Vedanta, and it all started on 8th, and today, the 7th day, we are actually concluding this text of Saddarshanam. The theme for this webinar has been given, as all the participants know, seek wisdom alone, nothing else. That is what the verse number 37 is going to say emphatically. Knowledge of the pure self alone is everything. Do not get carried away by some siddhis, some special powers and so on. If anybody asks, what is the power that an enlightened one has? The shloka is going to say, knowledge of truth itself is the greatest power. There is no need for any other power. However, in the run-up to this 37th verse, we will do a little bit of groundwork. Quickly we will see Bhagavan Shri Ramana Maharshi telling us a few things. In verse 34 and 35, which I will recite now, and the audience in this spiritual retreat at Rishikesh will repeat after me also. 34 and 35 we read now. Ahasputam tattvamasiti vedaha tatapya samprapya paratmanishtham bhuyo vicharo mati durbalatvam tatsarvada swatmataya vibhati ahasputam tattvamasiti vedaha tatapya samprapya paratmanishtham bhuyo vicharo mati durbalatvam tatsarvada swatmataya vibhati. In this single verse, Maharshi Ramana essentially urges us to give up our unsteadiness. Very much applies to all of us, especially majority of us have been listening to Vedanta for a pretty long time. Some here, I understand, are new. Being new, they have a fresh mind. Others have to envy them. Those who have heard a lot have their own obstacles and difficulties. Those who are hearing for the first time, mind you, have a great advantage. You don't have any baggage. Those of us who have always heard or said, talked, have a notion of, this I know, this I have heard. Anything new today? In this way, that problem doesn't occur in the case of those who are listening to Vedanta for the first time. Or to be more fair, both the camps have their own advantages and disadvantages. The shloka says, Aha sputam. Sputam means most clearly. Most clearly, the Vedas have said that Tattvamasi, the famous Chandogya Upanishad line, you are that. You are that supreme truth. You have mistaken yourself to be a limited personality, and then you are going further from there. Just turn inward, examine, re-examine, and that re-examination is called Who Am I? Maharshi Ramana was a champion of Who Am I inquiry. Though the Vedas have said Tattvam Asi, you are that, tatapi, in spite of it, asamprapya. Samprapya means having gained. Asamprapya, having not gained, paratma nishtam, certain abidance, certain firm stay in that healthy vision, in that vision that cures us of all illness. Alas, having not gained abidance there, bhuyo vicharaha, again we are looking left and right, again we are thinking, starting from scratch, again going into all sorts of not only necessary but unnecessary details, and he calls it with one strong word, that is mati durbalatvam. What a weak mind you have. Strengthen your mind and let this strong mind hold this truth and stay there. Like Mundaka Upanishad says, your mind is like an arrow, sharpen it with upasana and shoot that target, which is no other than Brahman. There is a wonderful metaphor in the Mundaka Upanishad. This pure truth is ever in your own heart. Tat sarvada, all time, svapnopamānāh hi bhati. It shines as your own self. What more can you ask for? It is within you as you. And in two more shlokas also, he says, these discussions are many a time such a waste of time. You must hold on to the essence. Please see 35 and 36. Na vedmyaham mam uta vedmyaham mam iti pravado manujasya hasyah drishya bheda imayam dvidhatma svapnaikatayam siddhiyam na bhedah na vedmyaham mam uta vedmyaham mam iti pravado manujasya hasyah drishya bheda imayam dvidhatma svapnaikatayam siddhiyam na bhedah prapya saddhama nijasvarupe svabhava siddhe anupalabhya nistham maya vilasah sadasat sarupa virupananaika mukha prabhadah prapya saddhama nijasvarupe svabhava siddhe anupalabhya nistham maya vilasa sadasat sarupa virupananaika mukha prabhadah. Examples of how our mind, rather than staying in the essence, goes around in circles and sometimes indulges in a discussion, the very basis of which is so questionable, if not laughable. In the 35th verse he says, people say, in some sense, I know my true nature. I have been listening to all this and it's very clear. I am able to know. But in some other sense, I still need more clarity. I don't know. So broadly there are two kinds of statements. I know, I do not know. The pure self. Vedmi is I know. Janta hu. Na vedmi. Nahi janta hu. I don't know. Maharshi says, if you think about it, you cannot make such a statement at all, neither of them. Because to know, or for that matter not know, that object has to be different from you. You may say, oh, I know Delhi, I have lived there. But my brother has settled in Bangkok. I have never visited also. I don't know Bangkok. Delhi, which you know, Bangkok, which you don't know, are both other than. Maharshi says, when it comes to the truth that you yourself are, there is no subject-object division at all. He says, to say, I know the self, are there two selves? The one self that knows and the second self that is known? Is the third line. Druk Drishya. Is there a Druk Atma and a Drishya Atma? So that the Druk Atma could know the Drishya Atma? Since there are no two selves, you are just one. With respect to your body, at least you can stand before a mirror and say, no, I have only one body. But when I say I see myself in a mirror, I see my image. Body being an object, it gets reflected. But the pure self, being not an object ever, not physical, it is the all-pervasive awareness principle. It cannot split into a knower Atma and a known Atma. Druk Drishya Bhedat. Bhedat here means in the form of Bheda. By the way of being divided into the known and knower. Kim Atma Dvidha. Is it twofold? Meaning that is laughable. Manujasya Hasyaha. It is indeed a comedy. It is indeed, if somebody goes to a party and says, I met everybody, but I didn't see myself. You will say, what is wrong with you? In some kind of absent-mindedness, in some kind of delirium, in some kind of half-sleepiness. Once we had all gone to some marriage party also years ago. And then long journey, next day was there, then they accommodated us somewhere. We didn't sleep enough, morning, good old days I'm talking about. We all got up and we were going to brush our teeth. Then I asked one person, out of curiosity, who is that lady? Because when we go to parties, we are very curious, who is who? And the answer that other person gave was very funny. That is my wife's sister's husband's daughter, something wrong. I said, say it again. And next time he said it was further confusing, contradictory. Where it was going, we didn't know. Then I looked at him from top to bottom. I found that he was very sleepy. Then I said, he is sleepy in one way, answering in such confusing manner. I am sleepy in another way, unnecessarily asking about this lady or that woman in this morning hour. So forget it, and we continue to go for our wash and so on. So Maharshi says, Manujasya Hasyaha. Though we think we are smart, I have 70% clarity about this Atma now. I know, I don't know. This Atma cannot be put in the two categories, two boxes, two camps of what can be known and what can be not known. It is ever the knower and it is one without a second. It doesn't permit a division, as the fourth line goes. Swatma ekataya, in this oneness of the pure self, dhyam na bheda. There cannot be two different opinions, or many more opinions are not possible. It is something which is beyond opinion. It is a svata siddha satyam. self-established, self-evident, ever-clear truth. Then where is the problem? Problem is like that person in the marriage party who was answering in some very, very weird manner. Our mind has gone for a toss. Calm your mind, regain your alertness. When you are alert, you will start laughing. Why did I have all those confusions those days? Therefore, dhiyam na bhedaha. So the problem to restate, nrit prapya, if we enter our heart, everything will be clear. That heart is the saddhama, the abode of reality. It is nijaswarupa. First line of 36. Svabhava siddha, by its nature, nothing needs to be done to prepare it. It is ever prepared, ever ready. But our problem is, as the key word goes, anupalabhya nishtam. Nishtam upalabhya means having gained steadiness, having gained stability. Nishtha, firm state. But if we have not gained anupalabhya, an is a negative prefix. Anupalabhya nishtam. The object is in front of you. But suppose your eyes have some dust in them. Or you are standing on a platform which is shaking. You are talking or hearing from somebody, the signal is very good. But you are in a place full of noise. Other day all of us were at Ganga Arati, Paramartha Niketan, right? How much noise it was. For a change we enjoyed the noise, no? Sometimes you enjoy anything and everything. But in case there was a phone call, suppose, and I am trying to hear, don't blame the network, don't blame the signal, don't blame the handset, don't blame that end, don't blame that end or this end. But there is so much of noise all around, ambient noise, you cannot make out. Once you reduce the ambient noise, you will be able to hear clearly. Likewise, if we can, with some guidance from competent teachers, with a little of practice of upasana, japa tapa, bring our life to some order, mind settles down, then we see the truth which is svabhava siddha, ever established. Otherwise, the rest of it is maya vilasa. When we haven't thus settled down with a certain clarity, our mind, no wonder, our mind, there is no surprise at all, goes into maya vilasa, play of maya in numerous ways. Is this world real or unreal, sat or asat? Am I with rupa or without rupa, sarupa, virupa? Is Brahman manifold or one, nana or eka? Mukha means ityadi. Sadasat, sarupa, virupa, nana, eka, mukha, ityadi. Mukha here stands for not anybody's face. Mukha means etc. Mukha literally means beginning. You know, our face in front. So, in this way, taking sarupa, virupa, asat, asat, nana, eka, etc. Beginning with them, many more. That's what etc. means. 3 or 4 are mentioned, and like this, many more. Pramadaha, all such talk is mere maya vilasa. Thus urging us to have a greater focus, not to dilly-dally, not to be in a state of wobbling. We have the highest wisdom presented before us on a platter, and we are wobbling. Should I or should not? Should I not? And so on. The appeal is for steadiness. Now we come to the crux of this class as well as the webinar which it is combined. We read the 37th. Siddhasya vittih sata eva siddhih. Svapnopamānāh khalu siddhayo'nyāh. Svapna prabuddhasya katham nu satyah. Satistita kim punareti mayam. Siddhasya vittih sata eva siddhih. Svapnopamānāh khalu siddhayo'nyāh. Svapna prabuddhasya katham nu satyah. Satistita kim punareti mayam. You and I may say, oh, we are not trapped in all these things. We don't want to read somebody's mind. Siddhi is all those powers, right? Walking on water, flying in air, appearing in two bodies, or, power to heal somebody. Somebody has severe headache and you touch his head, next morning his headache is gone. One of us does that, opposite happens. We had no headache after we touched next morning. Maybe that is also a siddhi. We touch anybody's head, they get headache. There is something called Midas touch, right? Midas or Midas, I guess two ways people pronounce. The Midas touch is where you touch and everything turns into gold. That foolish king wanted to have a lot of wealth. He loved gold and he prayed to some genie or some divine power. Though the genie warned him, "Are you sure?" He said, "I'm 100% sure. No waste of time. Please." So be it. Tadastu. Like Brahma giving varas to Rakshasas. Whatever you want. Rest of it is such a tragedy. Midas touches this, touches that, tables, chairs, everything turns to gold. It's dancing in joy. But when he wants to have breakfast, the wonderful doklas he touches, they turn into gold. He says this happens with Gujarati food. Let me touch South Indian food. Nice idlis, gone. Oh, maybe I should take some Bengali sweets. Sandesh. The sandesh, the message for him is not a happy message. His sandesh becomes gold, cannot eat. It's so sad. By then his daughter runs to him and he embraces her. Oh my dear, oh honey. Daughter turns into a gold statue. These are siddhis. This is a power. You heal people by your touch. You turn something to gold by your touch. Numerous are the siddhis. No, I began saying, we here may say, we are not after any of those. Partly because we have no hope of getting any of those. If we have a little hope, some chance, just as it is rightly said, you and I are not jealous of Bill Gates or Mukesh Ambani. There is no way we will get near them. There is no chance. But we are jealous of somebody in our group who till yesterday was equal to us. But today suddenly in front of his car, or in front of his house or in his garage, till recently we found he too had a Hyundai, I too had a Hyundai. But suddenly I find he has a Mercedes Benz. This is not fair. So coming back, we may say we don't want siddhis. Don't think you don't want really. If some siddhi is a prospect, a true prospect, if some Mahatma says to you, if you want, tell me, I can give you a siddhi. What? Whatever you wish comes true. Or one of those. You say, you get nervous actually. And most of us are likely to take it. And we may have our own reason. Actually, we were very viraktas. We said only self-realization. but it did not happen at all. Now we say, okay, that is not happening. At least let us have some siddhis. That is another kutarka. So, siddhasya vittih sata siddhih. You and I do have the bija, the vasana. You and I, if we get a chance, would like to have a siddhi. Would like to have all those powers. Or leave those powers, miraculous powers, various skills and talents, various special gifts. If any of the special gifts, to sing well, to talk well, to write well, to make money, knowledge in any subject, or we suddenly have free tickets to go around the world any number of times. Who is free from desire and some fancy about all these things? So don't take siddhi only in the sense of some miraculous powers. Even very many gifts in day-to-day life, very many special privileges. Suddenly you get an invitation in the middle of the 7-day retreat that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has decided to invite a few people from Rishikesh for a breakfast at his house. And among the people, couple of people will be chosen from the retreat going on in Somani guest house. And Vibaji announces, we have received a special letter, and who are the people who want to join that breakfast? Everybody, really? Yes, 2 of you can join. There will be a few others from Rishikesh, and you got to go to. Are we supposed to play any role? No, just keep smiling and have the breakfast. And Narendra Modi may, after coming to know you are attending Vedanta retreat, he may ask some question. What is Brahman? Tell me. Just say something, you are ready. It is beyond words and beyond thought. And or say that as long as one is in politics, it's difficult to understand. Then the Prime Minister will say, give one more sweet to him. Serve her another sweet. So don't worry about it. If that is made so, who here will not want to? As I hear the announcement, I will first ask, hey, why did you announce? Can Swamiji himself go and come? All of us. So without making it too long, every one of us has desire for some siddhi. Whether it is a privilege to have breakfast in the Prime Minister's residence or somewhere else, to stand next to some celebrity and have a picture. Anything and everything, why would we not have? But in vairāgya, that is what is being described here. In the case of an enlightened person, he doesn't care for any of these siddhis, special privileges. This glitter and glamour of the phenomenal world, they mean nothing to him. Why? Does he already have some siddhi? Yes, that's what we are saying. He has a siddhi. Because he has a siddhi, all other siddhis mean nothing to him. What is the siddhi that he has? That is the punchline. There is a poetic order here. The prose order would be sata vittih. Here vittih is knowledge. Sata vittih eva, knowledge of the absolute truth itself alone is siddhasya siddhih. Siddhasya ka siddhih. What is his special power? What does he have with him? Emboldening him or making him say, I don't need anything. उनके पास वो क्या है जिसके कारण वो और कुछ चाहते नहीं. उनके पास बहुत बड़ी सिद्धि है. There is a great siddhi with him, and though we call it siddhi, it is not doing something, it is just the knowledge. I am the unlimited awareness. I am Sat Chit. That knowledge itself So it is not about turning something to gold or walking on water, etc. It is not literally any siddhi, but it is better than any siddhi. Sataha vittih. Vittih means bodaha. Sataha bodaha. Knowledge of the pure truth, pure self, is the siddhi that she has, this enlightened lady. And sataha vittih eva tasyaha siddhih, and in comparison with the knowledge of the self, anyaha siddhayo'nyāh, second line. All the thousands of siddhis that you may enlist are svapnopamānāh. They are comparable with dream. Upama is comparison. Upama Kalidasasya, they say. In the works of Kalidasa, I believe he always came out with wonderful metaphors, similes. In Valmiki Ramayana also you find a lot of very nice metaphors. If somebody upon hearing some bad news is frightened, Valmiki would say, he was frightened, he was scared upon hearing the news. Like somebody who would get scared upon stepping on a snake and realizing, my God, my foot is on a snake now. Or if somebody was just till yesterday in all glory, but because of some scandal, because of some, rightly or wrongly, bad propaganda about her, she is shaken and her face has lost its glow. Valmiki would say, her face lost its glow just like during the time of Grahana, the bright sun no more shines brightly. Or during the time of Pralaya, everything gets destroyed. So multiple upamas. So upama is comparison. In Gita also you find some upamas. Like in 3rd chapter, it is said, desire covers your knowledge. What is that shloka? First word, if I get, the rest of it follows. Thank you. Dhumena avriyate vannihi, one upama. Yata adarsho malena cha, second upama. Not upma, upama. Though in North India, upama also pronounced as upma. In fact, in one school where I went, the principal's name was Upma Mishra. Everybody referred, Upma ji se mile aap. नहीं, आज उपमा खा के नहीं आए। हमारा ब्रेकफास्ट कल उपमा था, आज इडली खा के आए। नहीं, खाने की बात नहीं, आप उपमा जी से मिले। उपमा जी, तो प्रिंसिपल है यहाँ पर, उपमा मिश्रा। ओ, उपमा। So, south-north pronunciation, as I said already, all are right. Svapnopamānāh khalu siddhayo'nyāh. If after studying Vedanta, last example, if in your heart of hearts, studying Vedanta for years and years, suppose in your heart of hearts, your wish is not to know Brahman, but to be very knowledgeable about Brahman. All your friend circle should look at you and say, she knows so much about Brahman. She has written a 700-page book already, and she has given many interviews on radio, television and everywhere. Even foreigners come to learn Vedanta from her, etc. Suppose that kind of image you are seeking, alas, that is one of the siddhis. To see an image in people's eyes that I know maximum about God is, alas, a big fall. Don't seek that popularity, don't seek that image. Let the whole town think that you know nothing. Let the whole town think that you are attending Vedanta retreats and every time come back more foolish. Let them think like that. What people think should not matter to you. But with every retreat or with every course of study, your heart knows, you know, I now know truth. Knowledge of truth. Not people believing that you know truth. There's a big difference. If people believe that you are Mr. Rishikesh, that means fittest, Miss Universe and all that. But actually you have just 3 or 4 problems, stomachache, leg pain, headache. But everybody imagines that you are so fit. Some people even approached you, how old are you? Thinking of an alliance and so on. Right? People think you are very fit, but you actually have multiple issues with your health. Another case is, people think you are sick, but you are in pink of health. Which one would you prefer? I know you are all smart people. We, Swamiji, want to be in pink of health and want people also to think like that. अपन को image भी चाहिए और अच्छा स्वास्थ्य भी चाहिए. That is what they call in English to have the cake and eat it too. To have the cake and eat it too, sorry, that is not possible. So be focused, as the shloka wonderfully says to us, siddhasya ka siddhih. What power does he have? Can he cure sick people? Can he walk on water? You know, by and large, Mahatmas have those powers. But here it is said they are not important. If a Mahatma doesn't show any power, special power, but has clarity of knowledge and can help you gain clarity of knowledge, leave all others and be with that Mahatma. Don't waste time with those some yogis or siddhas who can give you some special power. They are no different from a mobile shop which gives you a latest smartphone with lot of new features. For a day or two, we will be happy. Later on, that same mobile becomes a nuisance and other problems arise. Anyway, sataha siddhih, sataha vittih. Knowledge of truth alone is his siddhi. Rest of it is swapna. And in our dream, no matter how much we would have possessed wealth or power, in our dream, how much enjoyment we might have gone for, upon waking up, do we feel proud about it? Swapnaha prabuddhasya katham nu satyam. Is a dream real once we wake up? Once we wake up, whatever heights we had reached in the dream, all become utterly meaningless. After waking up, we don't go to our spouse or somebody around. You know what? You know what? I can't tell you. I have, some big news for you. They think something really happened. Then you say, I got appointed as the president of Infosys. I am the new CEO of Infosys. You know, Vishal Sikka has been in some controversy. And they removed yesterday. They removed Vishal Sikka, the controversial CEO. Controversy meaning his salary is too high. The founder, one of the founders, Narayan Murthy himself, has been questioning it. So suppose somebody comes to you and says, Vishal Sikka they removed finally, the board of governors of Infosys, and I am the new CEO. Really? Then distribute sweets. Sit down, sit down. This is a dream I had. सुबह सुबह हमारे समय मत खराब करो. If it was a dream, in your dream you replaced Vishal Sikha, it means nothing. Prabuddhasya swapnaha katham nu satyaha. But then one may ask a question. So when you wake up, swapna becomes invalid. Swapna is replaced by waking. After some time again you get swapna, again dream. So waking dream, these keep happening generally in our life. So this realization also, is it something that happens and then goes, then happens and then goes? Maharshi clarifies in the fourth line, Satistitaha, that example, that illustration has some limitations. Please do not equate any drishtanta, illustration, 100% with what we are describing. Rope and snow, rope and snake, post on the post, or a certain seashell called mother of pearl appearing like silver. In the Vedanta there are numerous illustrations. They are called drishtanta. Let me say, every one of those drishtantas conveys a certain point eminently, but falls short of the theme. There will be some limitation. The drishtantas are bound to have limitations. If a drishtanta were to 100% represent the truth, it will be another truth. It will be another reality. That will be a damage to Advaita. So drishtantas have limitations. Therefore, dream is being talked of here, dream and waking, conveys the point that siddhis are of no value, but in no way it conveys anything about the enlightenment as a temporary affair. Maharshi says, Satistitaha, when one is established in Sat, one never goes back to Maya. We have said mind-boggling statements before in these classes that liberation is not an affair in time. It is not a process. It is not a phenomenon. It is not something that happens at point T1. If it were something that happens in point T1, then at point T2 it will end. Somebody may say, but in the life of every Mahatma, we hear he got enlightened at the age of 22, somebody was enlightened at the age of 33. I am now 56. And the other day I read one Mahatma's life where he got enlightened at 57, so I have 1 year left now. Somebody got enlightened at 57, I am 56 now. After reading that book, I was so optimistic, and that's how I have registered for this camp, and here I am. Somebody says, what about that description that unka Bhagavan Buddha? If realization is not something that happens in time, then why do you talk about Bodh Gaya where he got enlightened? Unka Jnanoday hua. We say that is a third party description. Third party doesn't know what they are talking. They make it a phenomenon. It is their spiritual immaturity. It is their philosophical childishness. Did you ask the Buddha? Did he say, up to my age of whatever, suppose he got enlightened at 36. Up to the age of 36 I was ignorant, and thereafter, I have been walking around as an enlightened person. Does he put whatever happened to him, even if whether it really happened to him or not, that's another thing. Suppose the so-called enlightenment, does he say that it was a phenomenon? When they asked Ramana Maharshi, how long did it take for you to realize? He was not an academician, he was not somebody who had done detailed philosophical studies in some university. Therefore, spontaneously he said, oh, very little time, a few hours. Then he said, just few seconds. Then, though he was not into any academics, Maharshi Ramana had an extraordinary intellect all the same in his own way. He paused in a dialogue, you find this. He says, oh no, not hours, not seconds. He says to the questioner, realization has nothing to do with time. He has said it. Nisargadatta said when his guru said to him, "You are not the body, stay firm in this understanding, you are not the body." He held on to it like anything. And somewhere he has said, "It took 3 years for me till all my ignorance disappeared." So, Nisargadatta has said 3 years. Therefore, it's a phenomenon. Again, these are statements with a concession. No. Mahatma said you have to take it. Now, Nisargadatta one day might have said, "Beautiful sunrise," but it seemed the sun was rising very slowly today. Ramana Maharshi might have said another day, "The sun was setting slowly." So because you have studied physics and you know that sun doesn't rise or sun doesn't set, can you take them to task? These statements, sun rises, sun sets slowly or fast, or sun becomes larger while setting. देखो 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 कितना बड़ा हो गया सूरज, ओ डूब गया. Even after many centuries have passed since they found out sun doesn't set, it's the earth which rotates around its own axis. Has anybody stopped the language of sun rising or setting? On the contrary, we love to use those expressions. Likewise, even Mahatmas on occasions do use the factor of time. But in intense discussions, in involved discussions, especially with scholarly people, with people who are able to go to the depths of the matter, the Mahatmas never say, "This enlightenment took place. Before that I was not enlightened. After that I was enlightened." Rather, as the Vedanta Shastra also says, one wonderful, very pertinent word we have, Atma, or for that matter, you are Nitya Mukta. Nitya Mukta. You are ever free. There's a longer expression. Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaha. You are ever pure, Shuddha, ever awake, Buddha, and ever enlightened, ever liberated, Nitya Mukta. This is a subtlety. When you see, it is true. If you do not see the truth of this statement and simply memorize a line from the Vedanta or Saddarshanam or wherever, all right, I am Nitya Mukta. Why did you say it on the first day? I would have packed up and gone. You are very clever, Swamiji, that you are already free and you don't need anything, you are ever free, etc. You are saying carefully on the last day. I am cancelling my registration for Goa. आप कह रहे हैं हम मुक्त हैं ही, क्यों आए? We question you, but do you see that you are free? Or has it just become another phrase with you? I don't see how I am free. Then you don't have to come to this person's camp or that particular camp, but continue to study. Continue to inquire in your own way. Camps and retreats and classes are not the only way. Find your own way. We don't ask anybody to become lifetime students. Please promise you will always remain a student. We don't say. That is a blasphemy. If anybody sees the truth and is free, doesn't feel the need for any class, we compliment, congratulate. If somebody doesn't come to classes anymore, and that's thanks to the clarity she has, she doesn't need to go on attending. It's a matter for celebration. There is no question of, finding fault with her or him. Coming back, sati sthitaha, This extraordinary thing called enlightenment is not a process in time. It defies time. It makes time a myth. It makes time unreal. It's not something that happens here or there. Neither place nor time have a bearing on it. It is a matter of an insight, and that insight, as it happens, destroys or burns away the coordinates, the parameters of the framework. In a scintillating statement in his commentary, Adi Shankara says at one place in his commentary on the Upanishads, when this prama takes place, prama means knowledge. The uniqueness of this prama, this jnanam, is right away as this prama takes place, pramata, prameya and pramana all disappear. That is the uniqueness of this knowledge. This insight burns the karakas, they say. Subject, object, instrument, location, from, to, etc. That is the clarity one has to reflect upon it. One has to contemplate upon it. Siddhis. So with our limited imagination, we think, okay, so I leave asat and I then stay in sat. So we make it a physical movement, time-wise movement, because we are so used to imagining. Somebody says, I used to travel a lot, but now I am in a nice resort, far away from the city, and believe me, I don't travel, I don't move at all. We know what it is to stop traveling and stay put at a certain place. We apply that to Satisthitaha. Satisthitaha, though the usual ordinary language is used, is not that kind of space-wise or time-wise location or stationing oneself somewhere. It is indeed beyond ordinary language. We only negate the ordinary ways of description. Satisthitaha, one sees with all clarity. When that total clear seeing, samyak darshana takes place, Maharshi asks a question, Kim punareti mayam? Does such a person return to Maya? Because in the illustration of waking and dream, somebody who wakes up and then within a few hours again back to sleep. Wakes up and back to sleep. Many of us wake up so many times in the morning, look at the watch, look at the clock, again sleep. So waking and sleep alternate, but not so with this enlightenment. Satisthitaha, by asking Kim mayam punareti, Maharshi replies, no, it is once for all. Lastly, in the Vedanta Shastra, an illustration is given. A seed, bijam, suppose you just throw, and it falls upon a rock. It just lies there for a long time. After a few months, somehow by a passing breeze it falls upon soil. Somehow there was a burst of rain. That seed, about which we thought is dead and gone, is not dead. It sprouts and it rises. Amazing. But suppose you have roasted a seed, nicely roasted it. Bharjita bija is the Sanskrit expression. Bharjita bija vat. When a seed is roasted, then even if it is planted by you in fertile soil and you put water and you do everything, alas, the seed is roasted. It can never sprout. Enlightenment, when it happens, whenever it happens, whatever way it happens, enlightenment is like your ignorance is burnt away. Roasted seed, you never come back. sati sthitaha maya kadapi punaha na eti is the revelation there. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Let's pause here. If there are questions, please do ask. Nobody has raised a hand here in the webinar. If somebody has a question, there are quite a few over there from Chennai, from abroad, somebody from Singapore, and so on. They are there.
Canada.
From Canada. Anybody from Timbuktu?
Purna Rao is asking Swami.
Oh, yes. So generally we have an opening batsman, Purna Rao from Singapore presently. We are very glad to have our question. 1 minute. Let me. Sometimes a problem with this mic. No, it's an yes, Purna.
Can you hear me, Swamiji?
Oh, 1 minute. Let me increase my volume. 1 minute. I have kept it. Yeah, please now ask.
Swamiji, good morning and namaste. I'm presently in Singapore, but we'll be back shortly. Now, the question I wanted to ask you is, since you said that enlightenment is not temporal and does not need a place or a time, it's a very important aspect, but you always hear of all these Mahatmas and saints and etc. going off to Kailash and Himalayas, and they're gaining some kind of enlightenment, or getting into a cave and sitting by yourself, like Ramana himself, for instance, was in a cave for very many years. Now, is that mandatory for us to get that kind of enlightenment? Isolation of oneself from everything so that we understand our true nature? Or can we live in this world and still gain it?
Right. Wonderful. Very wonderful, very practical question. Though it is said that enlightenment has nothing to do with time or space, we find in the stories of Atmas, they go to jungles, they go to Himalayas, they go to some solitary place, they are in meditation for a long time, then they get enlightened. So is it not necessary for us? See, that is the wonder of wonders. I would quote once more. Some bhajan, though I have not really got the whole bhajan, and told there is a Meera bhajan, where Meera says, Saint Meera, with great difficulty, I crossed the river of Maya, and upon reaching the other bank, I looked back, there was no river. बड़े मुश्किल से माया से फिर देखती हूँ दिखी नहीं है. Likewise, this Himalayas, a solitary place, etc., they do play a role, but when you get the total clarity, you find that they are not essential. Therefore, many Mahatmas, Buddha went to lot of parents, but finally he taught Madhyama Marga. He did not say, do lot of penance. So, if we feel our conscience says, I need to go to solitude, we need to jolly well. There's nothing wrong in going. But the Siddhanta principle is, solitary place technically not a must. Somebody may get enlightened in the bazaar. Somebody may get enlightened amidst so many responsibilities. See, from a Bhakti Shastra point of view, if God wants to give you enlightenment, He can do so wherever you are. You are in an unholy place, you are involved in some unholy act, let us say, but God is all powerful. He can just give you the highest wisdom. So leave God alone. On your own, technically speaking, these are not necessary. So I would look at it this way. More than Himalayan slope or some solitary place, it is necessary for you to be true to your conscience. If your conscience says, now it is time for me to go away from family, then do so. It may not be necessary to go away from family really, but it is necessary to be true to your conscience. If your conscience says, I will stop eating meat, do so. Enlightenment doesn't require anybody to stop eating meat. But being true to conscience is necessary because you need a conflict-free bosom. So these are the intricacies. Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Let me see whether among the webinarians any text question? Someone has thanked, that is welcome. So there are people who are in front of me here. Anyone has a question? Yes, Narayana Murthy has a question here, a participant here.
Swamiji, when it comes to realization, it just happens to some people, and some people have to strike very hard, their penance, and take a lot of time.
Correct.
Can I conclude that it is not something given by God, it is the deservedness which makes them make this realization dawn upon them? Which one I should...
Right. The questioner has asked, for those who could not hear, we find that in this matter of realization, some have to put in a lot of effort, some have to put in much less. So in the case of those who have put in less effort apparently, is it right to say that divine grace descended upon him, therefore he got enlightened easily? Or though in our eyes it seems it was all grace, actually andar ki baat, this person who achieved or who realized with less effort probably inwardly was far more deserving. So is it the deservedness, yogyata, arhata of the candidate in question, or God has his own moody behavior? Somebody is not really deserving, and God one morning thinks, why should I always bless only those who are deserving? For a change, let me bless somebody who is not deserving. I am God after all, who is to question me? For a change, I am going to help somebody who has done a lot of mistakes. And here are a few people who are very sincere. I'll bless them a little later. So, after all, God, who is to question me? Which is true? Really speaking, God knows how he does it. But with our limited intellect, we may say it's quite possible. What you say is a wonderful, a high possibility that from a distance, while it appears that so and so with very little effort got enlightened, actually that so and so might have had in him or her a certain inward preparedness, deservedness, purva sanskara, in her past life she might have done a lot of sadhana. I believe somebody invited 3 friends for a party at his home. But for some reason the 3 friends came so late, 3 hours late. And it was a party to drink. And this man said, "Oh, welcome, welcome. No problem if you are late. Come on in, come on in." But then, when the party got going, the 3 friends were a little unhappy to see. Though the host did not express the least discomfort at their coming late. He was, on the contrary, very, very welcome. But the 3 friends saw that he was hardly drinking. He was taking very little. Then they thought maybe he is angry inside. Itna kam pi rahe, humko itna pila rahe. Then all of them said, "See, you say you are not angry with us for coming late. But aap itna kam kyun pi rahe?" He said, "Buddhus, waiting for you, I drank and drank and drank. Ate and drank. Therefore, when you have come, I am behaving like a yogi, hardly taking it." Likewise, this person who apparently got enlightened so soon must have not drunk, must have done sadhana in his previous life, etc. etc. Okay, a question here from the left side.
You refer to the conscience.
Yeah.
This conscience, which is different from consciousness.
Of course, yeah.
They often refer to it as the voice of God within.
Yeah. That is conscience.
Conscience.
Yeah.
So is it something that individual develops, or
Yes.
is it something that's intuitive, that is beyond the individual's control?
Yeah. First of all, conscience is the inner voice. Consciousness is the common truth in all. And you asked in between, Dakshuji asked the question, is conscience, as people say, voice of God? We would say conscience is voice of God and consciousness is God himself in all of us. Though consciousness then gets limited because of upadhi, pure consciousness is God himself. So, second part of the question was, how do we develop conscience? By satsanga, by dharma vichara, by engaging with each other in the matters of right and wrong. In our ignorance, we think whatever we are doing is right. But in consulting, discussing with friends, colleagues, competent teachers, elders, whoever, even from a child we learn sometimes. Because of our vasanas, because of our ragadveshas, our conscience is ill-informed, immature. Our conscience is not bright at all. But through various forms of learning, the more we learn, the conscience is evaluating situations far better. Now you may say, but if it is God's voice, how could it be wrong at all? It is just as I said earlier, you take a mobile and you are standing in Paramath Niketan when Ganga Aarti is going on. The signal is good, the voice is good, but ambient noise makes it unheard. Likewise, God's voice is saying something wonderful, but the ambient noise, our vasanas, our ragadveshas, muffle that sound, muffle that voice. Therefore, conscience gets corrupted. Conscience is like an ill-educated, uneducated, ill-informed. Conscience is something that is lacking in right data, right information. Therefore, conscience takes a wrong direction in vast number of cases. That is the importance of our engaging and involving in various forms of spiritual learning. It's not enough if we learn finance and computers and languages and sciences, etc. We need to engage in moral learning, spiritual learning, moral education. In moral education, which is a very intricate topic, it's not just a matter of preparing a list of do's and don'ts. because one's belief, one's outlook, one's trust, one's faith has to change. If you are in charge of an education institution and you say, our school stands for moral excellence, everywhere on the wall of the school we have put, speak truth, don't tell lies. The people will laugh at it, children will look at it, memorize it, write in the exam, but they won't tell truth. In order that a child speaks truth, how do we make the child speak truth? Not just memorize these do's and don'ts. Therefore, moral education is a very involved affair in spirituality, ashrams and temples, as well as in schools and colleges. Making of a morally upright person is a daunting task. With this, we shall conclude this class and the webinar. Okay, let's see whether. Okay, we will end with the question from Chennai, Jyoti Nichani. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Hariam Swamiji, then that means there is only one consciousness, not two.
In one person, there is one conscience, but that conscience may change its, message. Morning, my conscience says, do this. By afternoon, my conscience may say, don't do it. But at a given point of time, one person has only one conscience. There are no multiple consciences. There may be multiple thoughts. I have multiple thoughts, but my conscience says, okay, but all said and done, I must do this. So conscience is one voice in a single person. Somebody else's conscience says something. For that one voice, number one, because of various moods and pressures, changes time to time. And because of right moral education, changes perfectly, changes in a very nice, evolutionary manner. Hari Om, Namo Narayanaya, Namo Shivaya.
Thank you, sir.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Hari Om.